is Fox Business. We got Stuart Varney, the Varnicle, who's just not a great guy. You remember Stuart Varney, Lace? I think I got to take this off for a second. So Stuart Varney hosts a show on Fox. I forget what it's called. Every time I think about Stuart Varney's, the first time I saw him was years and years and years ago, and it was Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. And Stuart Varney had this whole article about we have to cut all welfare because poor people actually aren't poor because they own refrigerators. That was his whole argument.
That's a hell of a theory you've got going there, buddy.
Well, how can you be poor if you have a fridge?
Like, that's the marker?
Yeah, and then Jon Stewart's whole response was, he's right. Those food chillin' motherfuckers. So every time I see Stuart Varney, I think about that.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So he's talking to Mike Rowe, and Mike Rowe's mom. So I feel bad about kind of doing this with Mike Rowe's mom in the room, but it has to be done.
Cause of our unhappiness. We've been told anyway that if you're unhappy in your life, it's probably because you're unhappy in your work. And we're told time and time again that job satisfaction is a result of the job.
Okay, so God, I can't even.
Well, if your job sucks, you're not happy at it. And if you can't even make a living wage, you're probably not thrilled. And if you have to work 3 of them to keep the roof over your head, you're probably ticked off about it. So, I mean...
Well, and furthermore...
Just a handful of reasons, but yeah.
Well, and furthermore, okay, you got 2 employees, right? Right? They're both really good, hardworking employees. One of them is going through a divorce now. Who do you think is going to be more productive and in the moment and more, helpful and more innovative? The guy going through the divorce or the other guy? The guy going through a divorce, he's got a lot of shit on his plate, right? It's one of those things where it's like, okay, if you hate your job, right, and you're really miserable, how interested are you going to be in being innovative or productive?
No, you're just sort of trying to skirt through it, man.
Yeah, your motivation is going to be like, I just don't want to get freaking hassled today, man. I'm going to do the absolute minimum.
Right. The bar is set low.
Right. So it was the old joke about, it takes me 45 minutes to do my job. The boss thinks it takes me all day, so don't tell him. Right? So let's finish this up real quick because
But it's really not. It's a result of the person.
Yeah, it's in your head.
Of course.
Right.
And I can
I'm sorry.
introduce you to a person who wrote every day for 6...
Oh, gosh. All right, so now they're going to go into his mom's book where she vacuums naked or something. I don't know. I didn't watch the whole deal with his mom.
All right.
But once again,
you don't need the whole advertisement about the book.
Yeah, no, let me wrap this up, though. So once again, it's personal responsibility. And the beauty of personal responsibility is there's nothing we can do as a society if it's the individual. And if just individuals are that way, there's nothing we can do as a society, which is this non-interventionist bullshit.
Well,
right.
What it is it's an excuse not to have to review our own individual morals and the way they fold together as a culture and society. We don't have to take into account. Ironically, by blaming personal responsibility, we don't have to take personal responsibility for the way we contribute to what might be, a morally bankrupt or corrupt, set of social guidelines that maybe need correcting. We don't have to take any responsibility for that if we could just point the finger at individuals. Oh, that person's lazy. That person this. That person that.
Yeah, but that's the point. Is if it's just that it's always just on the individual, then there's no solution. So why care? You nailed it. I mean, you're absolutely right, and that's the problem. And I'm going to tell you, God, I'm going to hold my nose and say, I agree with Jamie Dimon on this one. I hate to say it.
Did anybody think that we would be saying that here?
I would hope not, but I agree.
I would not think that would be what we would be saying here either of us.
Well, I'm a businessman too, so there's just gonna at some point I'm gonna have something in common with Jamie Dimon, and that's unfortunate, but that's just the reality. But I agree
And
with
we apparently found it.
well, there are a lot of things I actually agree with Jamie Dimon on. There are a lot of things I fervently disagree with him on. Don't get me wrong, but I agree with him on this point because he's a businessman and he's thinking about this. And a businessman, you can't afford to sit there and go, "There's no solution." It's just some people are weak, some people aren't, some people want to work, some people don't. Nothing I can do. If I'm a shareholder and you're the CEO and you come to me and say, "Well, our employees are just lazy, nothing I can do about it," I'm gonna go, "Fuck, you're fired. We're getting a new CEO. Do something, right? Make me money, right?" So that was my approach. So let me jump into this. So